It's the sun.
It's the base.
It's the base. Loso __ G.
DK.
Head boy.
Pro Jones 22.
Hey.
The return.
Hey.
Season 6? 4?
Season
40.
Season we
4.
We got seasons, bro.
Season 500.
We're like a TV
That
show.
is, yeah.
I like having seasons.
Hey, congrats on another new season.
Well, we be trying. And now everybody has a voice. Before it was only one voice.
Yeah, man.
And it was Edwin's.
Toast. Yeah.
Oh.
Yo.
How y'all doing
Recovering.
from last night?
Last night was mad real.
What happened?
So my best friend, used to be my college roommate, is in town for a few days, and we were supposed to go to Soul on the Horn last night. If y'all haven't heard of it, it's a really dope party. They got over at Chelsea Market. DJ Natasha Diggs, but we didn't make it there because we were drinking liquor in the hotel suite, and his chapter bros pulled up with more bottles, and we're like, all right, we ain't going nowhere. We all on our bit. The young niggas were like, we have places to go. We were like, okay, we ain't the young niggas, so we ain't going anywhere.
And they left and went to the party.
They didn't go to the party. Some went home, some went elsewhere. I don't know where they went. I don't need to know.
How was y'all night?
I just chilled.
It's so fucking wild, bro. I don't even fucking remember.
You don't even remember?
Hell yeah, get the
Shit
fuck
was
out
so
of here.
crazy.
It's so crazy,
Wow.
Shit
bro.
was so crazy. There was
Wow.
an elephant.
Went to the fourth dimension. It's crazy, bro.
Yo, have you done anything new since last time we linked up and shit? Like performed anything new and shit?
So lots of new shit's been happening. Like, it's a blessing. I just graduated from the Watering Hole. It's actually the T-shirt I'm rocking today. It's a writing fellowship for artists of color, 3-year fellowship. So I just graduated in December. It's kind of like a big deal. It's the first graduation I've had since high school. So
Congrats, sir.
That's what's up. Congrats.
thanks. I had a chance to do a lot of writing while I was there. It's a place where I've been able to like heal from a lot of grief. Most of Ofrenda I wrote at that retreat 2 years ago, as well as like components of my next book I'm dropping in August. But while I was there, I wrote 4 poems. I like 3 of them a lot, and one of them I sent out and it just got published 2 weeks ago. So it's published through a publication called Voicemail Poems, where they actually record you reading your poem over a voicemail, put it up on SoundCloud, and also put up the text as well. So
That's cool.
it's the first publication of this decade, and it's one I actually really enjoy a lot. It was kind of a really transcendental experience writing it in the workshop. I didn't follow directions for 2 of the days of the workshop, which is absolutely no surprise to you.
I don't follow directions. It's not. I hate directions.
Directions suck.
They usually there to help you.
I
But
guess
not.
not.
Do you struggle a lot with things?
With following directions?
No, just things
getting to
in
the end of
general.
it.
Just things.
Just
Just
things in
getting-
general.
Yeah, actually.
Gee.
I always go the outward way of doing things. I'm usually the one to find a glitch in a video game. It's weird. I don't know why my life is like that though.
Okay. All right, well,
He's like, bro, I'm just so out there, man.
next dimension.
I'm so out the box. It's crazy, bro. Whoa.
So, so the retreat. So
Yeah. So the day before I wrote that poem, I was in a workshop. They were like, you should write about joy. Instead, I wrote about slave masters. I was like, oh, clearly I just wasn't listening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is
And then the
joy
next day,
filled.
they're like,
Slavery.
they're
Slavery.
like, write about
Joy for somebody.
we're talking about climate depression and the apocalypse. So write an apocalypse poem. Should be dark. It was about an apocalypse where black and brown people win, so it was joy. Like, I completely just,
Oh, I would imagine that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would have went against the grain too. So did they still let you graduate, even though you wasn't doing the right? You wasn't doing.
No, the poem was fire. So, like,
Oh, they was like, nah, it's just too far to even let them.
yeah, well,
Were
also,
you the only
like,
black person? No, it was the whole
No.
cohort is black.
The
Yeah,
water no
maybe,
sound
yeah.
like a black thing. Listen, that's been a Lion
we
King.
played spades. We got so smacked on my graduation night.
Well, yeah, drinking.
Everything. Dog, they had Hunch Punch. They had Moonshine.
Hunch
It's South
Punch.
Carolina.
Moonshine. They
Hunch
made
punch.
tub.
Hunch punch.
Punch, punch,
That sounds like some
Where is
fucking.
it? Is it in the south?
South Carolina.
Sounds like some shit you get in the Heights. Oh, South Carolina.
Yeah, moonshine
Yeah.
made in the backwoods of fucking.
South.
Made by
Wherever.
people that wear that hat, son.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're like, you made the moonshine.
I might have.
The moonshine I had
Prohibition.
was good. It was like some blueberry.
Oh, you mean the branded thing moonshine with the
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah,
have you
that
ever
shit was
had
good.
like actual moonshine though? Like
Once.
like made and
Once, I don't remember that night.
fair enough.
I don't remember that night at all.
I mean, aside from that, there was Hennessy,
Of
bourbon,
course.
Nigga
lots of
juice.
bourbon.
That's where
I don't know how
I
many
figured. I
blunts.
figured it. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Sounds like a good party.
Yeah, we because it's in the middle of the woods, so we like hiked through the woods down to the river
What?
and smoked a few blunts.
No.
That was a spiritual experience.
That was mad spiritual. Word.
Yeah. I was like, yo, we want to go smoke by the river. I'm like, follow me. You know how to get there in the dark? Yup. Why? Stop asking questions.
That's crazy. I wouldn't do it. I don't like hiking.
Well, you're scared of nature?
You been
Yeah.
hiking?
What?
You've been hiking?
Probably. My life is a blur, bro. Maybe.
Nah, I've never been hiking. I wanted to go, but just never done it. And then I'm like, do I really want to?
Yeah, you want to go camping?
Go.
And I haven't done camping either.
You want to go
haven't
camping?
done
Do it.
Camping?
I kinda do.
I would do it, but
Wait, but like camping, like
Bugging.
we get to sleep in like a log cabin, right?
Like, you got
that's
Wi-Fi.
not
Is there
Teepees.
Wi-Fi?
I don't want to sleep with a
that's not
teepee.
camping,
Is there
bro.
Wi-Fi? If there's no Wi-Fi, I'm not doing it.
Is there a thing?
There was
should
Wi-Fi
be a thing
down
you can
there.
turn on.
There's
And
Wi-Fi on it?
yeah.
I'm good. I can't. All right. That's what I was
how do you
thinking.
turn on
God.
a fire? Is it like a switch? Do you have to flint?
Yo, have you ever done that?
You
Started
can-
a fire by hand?
And like,
There are multiple ways. The
There's a bunch of
flint
ways.
is
You-
the hardest
Yeah, I've done
way.
it.
It's actually the least indigenous way. Because
To
like,
start a fire?
yeah, no, because like they had hundreds of like ways to do it that took like 5 seconds of like you attach these sticks, pull this cable, boom, fire. Like indigenous people weren't sitting there with flint for 10, 15 minutes trying to get a spark.
Oh, the
Like,
movies
nah,
are liars.
you
I thought
trust the
niggas was
movies?
sitting there.
No.
Spider-Man ain't real, right?
Nah.
I thought they were sitting there with the sticks and
No,
the
that's
wood.
what white
Like
people
the
were doing.
Flintstones.
The Egyptians, they had a button.
No, Egyptians had a
They,
remote
they had
control.
one.
No, they pyramids
Electricity.
were
They had
so-
electricity.
They had Wi-Fi.
They had Wi-Fi. That's how they built the pyramids. Wi-Fi.
With Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. You started a fire handmade before.
Yeah,
With
but
what? With a
Lightning speed, Mr.
With his hands?
Mr. Fuego hands.
nah, that was just like sticks and shit. It was like actually like sticks.
You were a
and
Boy
shit.
Scout?
No,
Oh, you just
Where were you?
I just did it.
Yeah.
This was So when I was younger, my dad used to do like contracting work and stuff, and we would go to like this one place in Queens, and then we also go to this one place in Brooklyn, and he would just do it like outside of his work during the weekends, and it was either me and the kids of some of the other workers or whoever
Just-
lived there,
just
and then
beat
we
'em
would
up.
just like do shit. Like we would like play sports, we'd start fires, just like dumb,
What the
stupid
fuck?
shit.
Wait,
No,
I played tag.
That's called childhood.
I played tag. This nigga started fires. So
Yeah.
What the fuck was you?
No, I
doing?
mean we did play tag, but we did all types of stuff.
No, we started fires. We threw rocks at people. We beat people up.
What year did y'all grow up?
Okay,
You grew up in the city? Or
I didn't beat anyone up. I do rocks, but like I didn't beat anyone up.
Like, yeah.
I threw rocks.
No, it's
I
childhood.
threw rocks, but not at
Like
people.
everyone didn't do that.
No, we didn't stone our friends.
You
you know the balls that you hold in your hand.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Really? What
know
kind of
very
balls do you
well.
hold in?
Yeah.
it's the big silver
Yeah, ooh.
concentration.
Large ones.
What's wrong with y'all?
No, I know what you're
Wait,
saying.
so how do you play with them? How is it that you play with them again? How is
Do you
it?
ask them to call?
He was like,
You
he did
rotate
this.
them. You wrote because you
Oh,
rotate them in
word?
your hand.
That's crazy.
That's
What's wrong with
amazing.
y'all? What's wrong with y'all?
Yo, he's
No,
so
I'm
skilled.
just-
Did you know he was this skilled?
I didn't know.
Anyway.
He's like, yo, you can rotate them like
If you
one
put paper in the middle and slam them together,
Whoa.
and slam them together.
they start a fire.
So you.
Yeah, all right, moving on.
Sounds like a-
No, I know what you're saying. You know what that reminded me of? What's Boys in the Hood?
What?
Whatchamacallit? Furious. He would have those.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm
yeah.
talking
the Ben
about
No,
those.
I know. That's
Yeah,
what Ben
Furious
was thinking.
Styles. When
Yeah.
you slam them together on paper, it can set the paper on fire.
You've done this before?
Mm-hmm.
Childhood.
In my in the school actually, But yeah, when you slam them together, it says paper on. But I didn't know that.
Yo, we
until I
discovered
did.
so many dumb things in school.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
scientific experience you get, like the broom shit. Did y'all stay in y'all brooms up? You can only do it one day.
Wait, what?
That's a lie.
Yeah, you can do it any day.
Any day.
That broom,
you can do
Broom
it
has a
one day.
low center of gravity. Like,
Yeah, it's the bristles. It
yeah.
holds the broom straight
But
up.
people really believe that, like, oh, gravity's lower today. Anything
Yeah.
on social media.
Is that
Yo,
what
they
they
believe-
told
yo,
y'all?
yo,
Y'all
yo,
had
yo,
a terrible
Yo, I stood it
education.
up. I stood it up
Why
the
does this
day.
happen, teacher?
I stood it up the day after, and they were like, "Oh, the polarity is more than 24 hours. That's why I stand." And I was like, "It has nothing to do with polarity or gravity." And they're like, "No, I know it does."
The
And I'm like,
polarity is
I'm
more
like,
than
are you
two.
fucking-
That statement doesn't even make
Mercury's
sense.
in retrograde.
so I taught my
Yeah,
I taught my students how to stand the broom up. It's basically just you just gotta kind of hold it up and make sure it stands up. Same thing with this. And I had them go to class from
To
class to
stand it
class
straight?
and stand the broom up because it's like
You gotta have
if
high
my
expectations.
4-year-old can do it, you're an idiot. Like, it has nothing to do with polarity
Nah,
or gravity.
it's okay. Let them believe that. And, you know, B.O.B. can believe that the earth is flat, too.
That's fucking dumb. Like
It
what?
is.
So like, what happens when you get to the end? Like what happens?
The Spanish
fall
teacher
off.
said,
You
"Bruja."
just fall off.
Yeah.
No one's ever done it. All these tens of thousands of
he's-
flying machines in the air
And they never
every
fell
on
off.
a given
Never
day.
The
flat.
idea is it's a flat circular earth.
So what happens when you hit the end? You just like, is it like a video game?
off the
Like
stage.
you know, like GTA, you run to the end and it just forces you to like make
To keep
like
hitting.
hit the curve, like hit,
It's-
like is that the?
No, I mean, it's like fucking Asgard in the fucking MCU. Like, that's what he thinks it looks like.
Did he really?
No, B.O.B. Like, you know, there's a new whole segment of people that
Think
are
the
like
earth is flat.
that are flat earthers. Some of them are like, and I hate this term, but them real hotep ass niggas who are
Yeah.
ashier than ashiness.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't
'cause
use lotion because they don't believe in it.
they don't believe in lotion, but also because they don't love black women, and black women have the best shea butter, so they just don't get none.
They probably had a bad teacher that played a practical prank on them. And believed that the earth was flat. And
Now I
then
gotta
they
pull up
did
on
that.
money and see if my kids know that the earth is round.
Like, I hope they do.
Yeah.
But you know, you could probably have
Please
one
get
whose
the
parent
basics out the way.
really is like a hardcore flat earther, and they're gonna go like hard body at you. They're just gonna come into the classroom. You're gonna have to get the OG. You have to get the dread from down the hall to come through and help you out.
Oh, you know he's about to hit the cosmos.
Yo,
You know he's gonna hit the cosmos.
he'd be like, "Do you know the shape of the universe?"
It's spherical. It's like what is it? The spine of a human being or something like that.
I used to-
Circle.
Yeah, it's the Mr.
Line, yeah.
I used to think that the map of the Earth, that was just half the Earth. Like growing up, it was like
The one with the
very-
titties.
A map
What?
of
The
the,
map
Earth.
with the titties. You never seen the map of the earth and it's like got like titties.
Okay,
Y'all know
yeah,
what
no,
I'm talking
finish
about?
what you're
What the
saying.
hell?
Finish what you're saying.
Whatever, but I used
I'm
to
gonna
think
Google it.
that
I'm
was
gonna
just,
show y'all. Y'all gonna
What are you gonna
oh,
Google?
yeah,
What are
I
you gonna
wanna
Google?
see
Map with
this.
titties?
No, just the map they have. It got titties. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody know what I'm talking about.
No, you fucking perv.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
yeah,
go
finish
ahead.
what you're saying.
Nah, but I used to think that it was just half the Earth. 'Cause
What'd
I
you
don't
think the
really-
other side looked like?
I had no clue. Maybe I was hoping it was like magic and shit. Like,
You know Africa upside down on the world map?
it looks like a gun. I don't know.
No, Africa is upside down on the world map.
Well, South is up.
They draw it upside down.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Damien told me.
Oh, I see.
And I
what
believe
you're
in
talking
these,
Whoa,
about.
what?
So it's not that Africa's upside
It's
down.
upside down.
The map that we look at is upside down because South is up. Who
Out is
who
up.
taught you
Go
that
ahead.
North is up?
Go ahead, Damien.
Who taught you that?
The way he kicked it.
Here's the thing. I can ask Damien, and you know I understand exactly what he said because we speak the same language.
He says upside
And it's the
down.
reason why I get into so much trouble. She's like, "Don't do it today." My bad, hit the mic. Don't do it today. I'm like, "Don't do what? Don't go to the motherfucking cosmos with him. Keep him on Earth with the rest of us, so nobody else, so everyone else is not lost in this meeting." And I'm like, I make no promises. You've seen me do it. It's fun.
Yeah, that shit's mad fun.
Like, I'll just say something, it'll set them off, and I'm like, this is going to actually eat up the rest of the meeting time, like a good 15 to 20 minutes. You'll do the shit too.
Yeah, I love doing that. I love taking them to the
Yeah.
moon, bro. It's always a rocket ship.
I used to also think that cats literally had 9 lives.
They don't.
What do you mean by they don't?
Oh my god.
No, they don't.
You ever threw a cow out the window? He
sure?
always lands on his feet.
Yeah, but he,
That's
he
one life.
didn't
no,
die and rise.
that
That's
does
one
not
life.
always happen.
didn't
That's
die
one life.
and rise from the dead. Did you practice this, or is this
If
some
you-
of the
Sure.
bullshit you
If
read
you
on
pick up a
Facebook?
cat and spin the cat around like in your arms and then let him go, he can't land on his feet.
Have you done this?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Multiple times.
That's pretty
I,
cruel.
I wouldn't know whether
So those is actually harming animals.
Yeah, that's pretty cruel. Like, why would
What?
you do that?
It was a dream.
And lying.
Fucking sense.
Dogs can't
talking
eat
about?
chocolate.
I know that's like, well, they can eat it, but they could die.
Yeah,
Have you practiced this too?
There's some other foods they can't eat.
yeah. There's lots of foods they
It sucks
can
to
eat.
be them.
They can't eat grapes. I found out the hard way.
How you killed the dog?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't kill a dog.
Okay.
They can't eat chocolate, grapes, something else, cheese.
Probably milk. Yo, bro.
Oh man.
Bro, so
This
what's good
episode
with
is sponsored by PETA.
What's good with
This is
the
conspiracy
the
episodes.
second book you said that's coming up in August? Like,
In
how far
August?
along are you with that?
I've been working on that book for like 6 years, so it's done. I'm gonna just do some small revisions, but it's ready. Like it was supposed to come out before Ofrenda, but Ofrenda wanted to be out first. So like I kind of like honor my ancestors and to kind of like close those years of like grieving my grandparents with that book. So Water and Blood is about my family history.
Oh, it's called Water on Blood.
Yeah, Water and
That's
Blood.
a fire name. That's gonna be a breakout album.
It's
Everybody has one. It's gonna be a reasonable doubt.
Oh, appreciate it. Hope so. Actually, some of the same stuff that is in Ofrenda and actually that sets off Water and Blood, I'll be doing on a panel on April 15th with Mokata and Weeksville Heritage Center about Black genealogy. So like that's same thing I talked about on the last show. I'm starting to actually get a book to go do that.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. So y'all had me first. I'll shout y'all out.
Yes.
We always breaking the new
The new up and comers.
we always doing it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taylor. and the Black Doms.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the book. It's gonna be cool. It's also dealing with like a lot of the 2014, 2015, 2016 like movement for Black lives. Like there's a whole section that really has to do with Black Lives Matter and Native Lives Matter and stuff was going on during that period of time. So trying to like find love in the face of like Black death. Like I got engaged while I was writing that book. So like that's actually in a chapter there as well. So the book is heavy. I'm looking forward to writing some essays and possibly some funny shit after that. But this is it's one I'm really proud of, and I think it's gonna end a cycle for me. You know, it's the last book that I wrote in the 2010s, and I'm gonna release that at the advent of like this new decade and see where all this other new work takes me. I run motherfucking Sonnet. Like I'm writing in form now, which is very weird. I used to tell people that I run from form like it's the police.
Now you're sticking to it.
Yeah. Now I'm like, well, actually, that's not true. I was writing blues poems and haiku and all this and senryu and all this other shit. And I'm like, okay, well, 16 bar verses. Let me see what I can do and kind of really begin to flex. And it's kind of crazy that when you're around for a long period of time and you've been doing what you've been doing. Like I've been writing now for like almost 20 years. You become wild nice. Like getting old is great. Like fuck what anybody else says. Because if you are an artist, you just get better at your shit. And you're like, oh, you know what? I just wrote that poem. That poem is fire. And I still can be humble about it. I'm just happy that it's the best shit I've ever written. It's a good feeling. So keep writing.
Oh no, I gotta pick it back up.
Yeah, like it doesn't go away because you didn't do it. Just also when you're bored, practice. Like,
Yeah, just do the shit.
like also because of your sarcasm, practice your similes and metaphors. You can just write them like as dark as quiet as, or as dumb as. Just have fun.
Yeah, I gotta get in my bag.
Yeah. I taught one of my students to do that, and she just started she wrote a list shading all her friends
that's
for similes. So now she just has snaps for like the next week. She's gonna be flaming everybody.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah.
funny as fuck.
That's practicing.
That's funny.
And I was like, if you teach it to a middle school students, what they're gonna use it for.
If you could write a book, what would it be on?
Math.
You write a math book?
That's amazing.
But you're terrible at math.
You sure?
No.
I expected a different reaction. So I just went with math. I didn't know what the fuck.
But like, what kind
would
of
you
math
write
book?
about?
I'm trying to think. What would I? Nah,
Fights?
honestly, I'd probably do like a. I don't know. Now that I'm fucking
Self
wrong
help?
with
You
it.
do a self help book
No, self
for the Dominicans
I need math.
of America.
I can't help them. I need fucking help. Nah, bro, that shit is. I
Book
mean,
on Smash.
oh no, there is. I've thought of a few kids books that I want. Well, one specific kids book I want to
You
write.
want to write a kid book?
Yeah,
I'm not reading that shit to my kids.
bet you would.
If it's fire, I probably would read it.
Uh-huh.
I'd
That's gonna be
support you.
fucking fire.
That's
Because
bullshit.
it's just like I've
In the
since
Heights.
my brother has a kid, I've been more like attentive to like kids books. I specifically try to get like Dominican ones.
Good luck. It's like 7 of them.
I got five.
You got all 7 of them? You got 5 of the 7?
I'm almost done.
Get your gym badges.
So now, but I've been looking at them and I was like,
Let's
I
try-
do better.
let's try,
To
try.
be honest with you,
Yo, bro,
but
me
they
too,
did
bro.
it. But they did it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Teach
Because
them
there
back.
was like there was one that I came across that it was like the pages were kind of staggered, so it was like they should have started the story one page after, so because it was like you'd see the spread, it'd be a picture, and half of the page, one page would be in English, one page would be in Spanish, but so it would finish on the English part, and then the next page would be
In
the same
Spanish.
exact word, it's the same exact English phrase, but in Spanish. When it should have been in English and Spanish, in my opinion, on the same exact page.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like
That
one
is
of the things
confusing.
that kind
Shake
of...
the game up, bro. What's up? Let's write this kids book.
Bilingual.
I want to write kids books too, bro.
No, but that was the whole thing.
The books I'm doing for my kids.
Honestly, it's because of that angle. The whole
They're not-
the whole multi-language bilingual.
They're not
shit.
good, bro.
Yo, you will write like a great sarcastic children's book.
I think I
Both
should.
of y'all would.
Yo, that shit would be
Hey, boy, what would your book be about?
money.
Nah, I don't know.
Bullshitting.
Lists.
Fighting the great fight.
Karate.
Karate.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if I were to write a full-length book, shit, man. I mean, I have a few ideas, but
Go ahead, kick them ideas,
Yeah,
man.
yo, kick them out.
I don't know. I maybe would write sort of like short.
You fucking dick. Stop smiling like
Why
that.
are you so smiling?
Because-
I'm smiling because you smiling.
I'm smiling because you're smiling.
I don't know, like short stories, like sort of anecdotes, like a series of like anecdotes on different topics, but they wouldn't necessarily be connected. Maybe like a short story or a piece of advice, or like just like a anthology of just shit I thought of. You know?
It'd probably be stories of all the bad shit we do, Fab, and
No.
all it'd come in with
It's
the
gonna be
great
about
advice
us.
from Edwin. It always
It'd be
be.
about us with advice from
Yeah,
Edwin.
yeah.
That's what's gonna be called. Advice from Ed Boy.
I don't know. I
Just
mean,
the tips. with
that's
Edwin.
what I would. I mean, other than that, I mean, obviously, I probably want to write books on my interests, but like, if I were to just come up with something to write, it would just be like a loose anthology of just like short stories, piece of advice, maybe pieces of fiction, just like a medley of stuff.
Like
you
a
know.
Bible.
What would you name it?
I don't even know.
Advice.
Ah,
That's fire. Advice.
Adventures.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like advice, brother.
Yeah, they both
The
suck.
advice,
They both
the
suck.
Adventures.
They both suck. bro.
Advice is
Yeah.
fire, bro.
They both suck.
Advice
I'm not
is
gonna lie,
fire.
these books are terrible.
Yeah, they both suck, bro.
Whatever. I like that one.
I like advice too.
You
Advice is
would.
fire. We're gonna name a specific section of this podcast and call it advice.
The advice.
Okay, that's better.
See, that actually could work.
That actually.
Oh, but the
book-
book won't work?
No.
No,
What if it follows up after the podcast? After we hit our height of success?
maybe.
I mean, then the title sucking doesn't matter if it takes off. Because the people on your nuts.
When it takes off
Holla.
is when we do the cocaine.
Off the stripper's booty?
We're gonna do cocaine to get our big deal.
With famous people.
I see it. I foresee it. We're gonna be brought into a room. It's gonna be by a pool. We're gonna be wearing linen. And then the guy gonna be like, yo,
Linen.
I'm gonna support your podcast, but just do this line of cocaine. I'm gonna look at Jose. He's gonna be with it. I'm gonna look at Edwin. Edwin's gonna be like, no. And they go like, you know what? Here's some more money. And I'm gonna look at Edwin like, come on, bro. It's just cocaine. We could just knock it out. Get the podcast where it needs to
So
be.
what book are you gonna write?
Oh, I'm doing the kids' book. I'm stealing your idea. Fuck you. It's just mine now.
Well, I mean, it's been taking an awfully long time for you to write a new poem, so I'm not.
Ooh.
I'm calling you out,
Damn.
son. I'm calling
Can't
you
even write a
out.
poem. Talking about writing a book.
Yeah, bro.
When's the last time you wrote a poem?
I don't know.
Exactly.
What the fuck kind of answer is that?
He doesn't even remember.
I ain't doing it in a while. I haven't sat down and just.
How many months?
Yeah.
Dog,
I
right.
think I am writing a year,
You
bro.
teach kids, just write a poem in the class with the kids.
I think the last. Oh, well, I wrote a poem on class to my kids, but on
Think
my
that
own.
counts.
You should be paying
I
attention to your
haven't.
kids.
Instead of
I got
writing
you, bro. I
poems.
got you. Yeah, pay attention to those little rascals.
I think the last thing I wrote was the narrative for the case study. That was the last thing I wrote.
Homework?
Yo,
Like fully sat down and
dude.
and then even when I was writing the case study, I was like, damn, I gotta get back at my shit, but I really haven't. I gotta get back on my
You
shit.
gotta find a way to make the case study, like to write your poetry into the damn case study.
I
Like,
am. I'm
so
going to.
you gotta flip it. You gotta find a way to steal that.
I just
shit,
gotta
man.
sit and do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's stopping me from like pushing forward.
I do.
Oh,
PDs.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
PD. That's
Yeah. But if I write a book, it's gonna be a narrative for a children's story / poetry. It's probably gonna be both, either poetry book or a children's story book.
doing both.
I would love to write some crazy epic type shit like Star Wars or
Yo,
like
Yo,
I
Marvel
don't have the
shit.
time for that.
Have
shit.
you
Like
been-
if I
have-
had the opportunity, let me dream
My
right
bad.
now,
My
motherfucker.
bad.
This is
Yeah.
party pooper.
Get crazy.
I think that if I could make money off of it, I would like to build some crazy universe like Avatar
With a whole
or
nother
some
language.
shit.
Yo,
yeah,
there's-
with everything like that. Yo, if I could get paid, I would love to do some
If
crazy
you do it,
involved shit like
do
that.
it as YA. Like right now, the young adult fiction market for writers of color is wide open. Tony Adeyemi, she wrote the Children of Blood and Bone series. That when that series
I'm
got
reading that
picked up
now.
by the publisher, I just
I'm
finished the
reading that
second
now.
book. It's one of the best things I've ever read. Like I grew up on C.S. Lewis and Tolkien. It's like that caliber, but better, and it's black as
It's
fuck,
black.
which is amazing. Like full world. Yoruba is the special language that's in there, but it's like a particular iteration of it, and it's like super Nigerian, super Yoruba, but like it's amazing. It's beautiful. She just crafted this whole world, and there's so many authors who are doing young adult fiction who are making the New York Times bestseller list. Like, do it. Make your world. Make it as Dominican as you want. Fuck it. Like, but especially
The
if
whole book gonna be in Spanish, Spanglish.
yeah,
Do that shit, bro.
there's a market for it.
I don't see no
It'll sell.
Spanish culture being consumed out here except in the Heights.
That's Dominican
And
culture.
Dora.
That's Dominican culture.
Sorry. I don't see no Latino culture being consumed out here except In the Heights and Dora. And In the Heights got a fucking movie. It took a long time, but he got a
man.
movie.
He's apparently they're also gonna do a Hamilton movie too.
Yeah.
I still ain't see the shit. Fucking.
I mean,
I saw it online.
who can afford to see Hamilton?
Are you still
Yeah,
play
that shit-
online?
Yeah, there was like it was
It's
literally
online?
like in the middle of the night, and somebody had uploaded
Listen,
it on YouTube. And
I gotta
I
it
knew-
wasn't
watch
there
that.
the
I
next
gotta
day.
watch that.
I knew somebody who was in the cast. I couldn't even get to go see the shit.
Yeah, man, I want to see that shit back.
This money is like,
I
what,
wanna see
like
Hamilton.
500?
I want to see Hamilton bad,
Easy.
bro.
Yeah.
Like I think the cheapest ticket is sometimes like 500.
Yeah. I wanna-
But
I
you
wanna
can see it.
so
You
bad.
can see it in other cities, but it's not. But it's,
It's
not,
not
like.
hitting like New York.
I mean,
It does, 'cause
it
it's not
depends.
the
It
original cast,
depends.
bro,
It's
so
like
it's
it's
not
just
like
like
that.
different casts, so it's like the same exact thing, but slightly different
But also-
flavors based on like.
But what they make them do for casting, like, yo, the casts are dope wherever you go for Hamilton. The auditions are really rigorous. They're really, really difficult because you have to be able to sing and rap.
Yeah,
And you have to do both well. And if you can't, like,
You're
or
done.
even if you do both well, like,
You still gotta.
You still have to act.
you know what? Come back, like, in 6 months. You were good. But come back in 6 months.
Yeah.
And that happened to my homie. Like, he was in and out of the audition process for over a year. And then he got the shit as an alternate.
He probably
Like, as an
got
understudy
bread,
alternate. And then he ended up in, like, the touring cast. And then he ended up in the principal cast
Yeah.
of Washington.
That's
but
what's
yeah.
up. Yeah, I want to see Hamilton so bad, man.
Yeah.
And I want to see I'm gonna see Lion King again. I'm gonna take the time out to see that. I'm gonna just get into my.
Yeah.
I need to dive back into that bag of like artistry. Like lately, I've just been real rigid when it comes to like school and work. I haven't really stepped outside of textbook stuff. I've just
mean-
been doing real. I mean, maybe I haven't, but I can't give you intentionality. I can only give you things I can back into.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
think
I'm saying?
that I'm lucky because I teach what I do. So, like
can
for
play
me,
with it.
the more media that I consume, the more I can bring it into my classroom. Like, I don't agree with all the rappers that my kids listen to, but I end up listening to their albums. Like, I want to be able to have a conversation about why I think somebody sucks,
You listen to
rather than me
Griselda?
just being the old nigga. No, they don't listen. to Griselda's way above their heads. Like they're like, yo, they're like, Pop Smoke is better than Tupac. And I was like,
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
what?
Yeah.
I've never actually. Honestly, it sounds bad. Yeah, rest
Welcome
in
to the
peace. But
party.
I didn't even. I never heard of
I
him
want the
until,
motherfuckers Angeles.
until he passed
But
away.
you know what?
That's
His
what
his
I'm
first
talking.
mixtape, and I'm not gonna like he passed, you know, at 20, way before his time, which is terrible. His first mixtape, I'm not gonna front like I was a Pop Smoke fan. I hated his first mixtape. He had some good songs on it that slapped, but overall it was mad redundant. And I told my kids like, yo, the first mixtape is trash. The second mixtape is fire. I can't front on that. Second mixtape is good.
The
Is
Wu
it,
2?
yeah. Is it great?
Wu 2 is-
Nah,
the
but
Wu 2
I'll
is
give it
alright.
like a good 7 out of 10, which is for a 20-year-old mixtape. 20-year-old's mixtape is actually pretty decent. So, you know, he got cut down before I think he had an opportunity to even really get better as an MC. A lot of
I think
people
so too.
reminded him of, like they said he reminded them of like a young 50. He had a
Yeah.
lot of
He
authenticity,
sound like 50.
but his voice, like that instrument of his, is amazing. He can say anything on record and everyone's gonna repeat it.
Yeah. Christian Dior. I'm up in all the store. Like it just sounded good, bro. Just
Like
the
I want to
way,
know who engineered him too.
That's true.
'Cause,
That's a
like-
very good question because he sounded good on all the tracks.
Yeah.
When he started,
Yeah,
and then he didn't get big until after his first single drop.
yeah,
Which, yeah, rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
yeah. That shit sucks, man.
Did he pass away from? I think I posted those pictures in the group chat.
Boy.
He got murdered, man.
But it was because
He pulled up in his crib, let it go.
Was it because of the post that supposedly had the address? On
I
it?
think so. I
Like
think
I don't
he-
know, man. I literally
he put
just
up a
getting
post,
things thrown in my group chat.
Showing up where he's at and where he showed up at in Los Angeles. And I think they screenshotted the address from the post and then pulled up and robbed him. And then during the robbery, he fought
was a
back
robbery.
and they let him go.
Shit wasn't a robbery. That shit was a hit.
It was a hit, right?
There's no way that people pull up like that and don't leave with things if it was a robbery.
Oh, they didn't leave him?
No, they made it look like a home invasion, but I think that shit was a hit.
Oh, that's definitely
3 people came through the front door, the one went through the back. That's a hit.
Oh, okay, that's a hit.
That's a hit. They set up a kill box. That shit is a hit.
He was by himself?
Nah.
Oh. That's crazy.
It's like I didn't hear anything about anyone else who was in that house getting shot.
I didn't hear anything, only just him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah.
What if we make it that big? Who do you think will get hit first?
I won't.
What?
I won't make
Why
it.
would you even
Definitely
speak that into the universe?
No.
Nope.
Definitely not me.
He always on
Probably you.
Yeah.
Wait,
It'd probably
what?
be you.
Probably you.
talking
You're the
guys?
you're the easiest target.
Well, how am I these?
You- you're the
Everyone on
easiest
social
target.
media. Me and Edwin are fucking ninjas, bro.
I don't have social media. I
Neither
don't.
do I.
How are they gonna find me?
Exactly.
How? They already know where you live, bro. Like,
Alright, yo, so that's the
yeah,
big.
Wow, bro, too many clues.
Yeah.
too many clues.
Speaking of murders, man, like, yo, rest in peace to Malcolm X as well.
Yeah,
21st just passed. I don't know if you got a chance to see the Netflix documentary.
I haven't. I've been meaning to see
Yeah,
it.
no, it's really good. Some of the research in there I was already familiar with. If you hadn't had a chance to check out Manny Marable's biography of Malcolm X, it was kind of controversial when it came out. But one of the best things from it was he named the assassins. And
What?
well, because like 3 people went to prison for it, and one of them was one of the actual assassins. The other 2 people were innocent and got 20 years anyway. The one who actually was like one of the trigger men said, "No, these 2 guys are innocent.
It was me.
It was me. They didn't do it.
And they still
They shouldn't be in prison," and they still kept them in prison. He named the other people who did it after being incarcerated for like 10 years. Because he had some remorse for what he had done. And like these other guys are rotting away. And like they ended up doing like all this research, and it was 3 people out of the Mosque 25 in Newark that killed him. And everyone was like, the police made it look like somebody from Harlem had set him up from the NOI. And like their implications of like the police and the feds being involved as well. All of it's in the documentary. 6 parts on Netflix. Who Killed Malcolm X?
Bet.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
That's a scary
'Cause,
like-
document to hear about.
Because I mean, a lot of, particularly during the civil rights era, but even especially around that time, the FBI, the government, they were very good at like social engineering and like engineering events. Not only would they do sort of hits themselves, but they would infiltrate different groups.
Yeah.
Black Panthers, Nation of Islam, things like that, and just like sow discontent and have things happen on their own You know,
They
quote
called that
unquote.
something though. There was a name for that.
COINTELPRO.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
COINTELPRO. Yeah.
But like that's the FBI's version of
what's
that.
it called?
COINTELPRO.
COINTELPRO.
Counterintelligence program.
Oh, okay.
So basically, back then,
Was the
the
name back then?
government.
It's still.
I mean,
COINTELPRO
still,
Yeah,
but particularly then,
yeah.
it's like the government was hyper vigilant, hyper paranoid of pretty much any group that would, you know,
Shake the
disrupt
system.
that would disrupt the social order.
Us.
And probably the most prominent of those were civil rights groups at the time. So they were like, "Yo, we're gonna crack down." And there's also, you know, obviously the Red Scare, communism, things like that. So like the government was just extra paranoid.
And J. Edgar Hoover had a very clear position where he said one of the most dangerous things in American society would be the rise of a black messiah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like he was very clear about wanting to make sure that anyone who had that level of prominence would be eliminated as a threat. That's the reason why Fred Hampton was murdered in his apartment. It's the reason why they had all the surveillance on Malcolm, on Martin, on other civil rights leaders. And talking about infiltration, one of the person who performed CPR on Malcolm on stage was an undercover New York detective, NYPD detective. So like, he was.
So he falsified the.
He didn't falsify anything. It's like that he really did the CPR, and the cops were like, "Why'd you do CPR on him? He was a thug. He was a criminal.
Damn.
Like he got shot. Why did you administer mouth to mouth?" And it's like,
Oh, gang.
You're
yeah,
supposed to.
And they were like, "No, you weren't."
Yeah, you're supposed to, regardless of whether they're a criminal or not.
Yeah, but we're talking about the NYPD in the
Yeah.
'60s. They're perfectly comfortable.
We're just letting that
We're
shit.
letting
We're
them die.
doing fucked
Yeah.
up shit.
Yeah,
There was no cameras back then, no cell phones.
Yeah.
You can get away with everything. It's fucked
So,
up.
and like in the audience that day, there were undercover federal agents. Well, actually, no, there were no agents of the FBI. There were informants. There were informants in the audience. You had the undercover cop who is the head of Malcolm's security detail, and then you only had 2 uniformed police officers that were there a week and a half after Malcolm's house was firebombed. Like they actually decreased security because the police were saying, "Oh, we think he did it. We think he firebombed his own house." So you tell me he threw a Molotov cocktail into the
his
window
own
where
house.
his own children were sleeping?
Yeah.
Nah.
Back in those days, what side of the rebellion do you think you guys would be on? You think you're like a front soldier, or like a
Wait,
calculated
whoa.
man?
You have to be specific. What are you talking about? Like rebellion?
If
You
you
did Star
were-
Wars? Like,
Not rebellion, but like during that the whole civil rights.
I mean, more than likely.
You know how people be like, oh, if I was a slave, I'd be a.
I mean,
slave.
here's the thing.
Like that kind of question.
At any given time in history, more than likely, any given person is probably going to be whatever the average person was at that time. So when they say, "Oh yeah, if I was here back then, I'd be this, I'd be that," maybe you would, right? But it's like whatever. The vast majority of people happen to fall within the average, the medium, and it's the people like the Malcolm X. You know, those are the outliers. Those are the people who actually, you know, push history. Those are the people who really were brave enough to do things. But it is good for me to go back and be like, oh yeah, maybe I'd be a part of that. But honestly, I don't know. Who knows? Like, it's hard for me to tell.
So I
Going
mean,
back to Fab's question, what do you think?
No, I have no
Thank you.
idea.
Thank you, Jose.
Not the average.
Thank you, Jose.
No, I have no
What do you
idea.
think?
That's my answer. I have no clue.
Fuck. Like, what would you want to be then? I gotta.
I mean, I talk mad shit, but who knows? I don't necessarily know whether I'd be like on the front lines, like, you know, like actually there, like holding up a sign.
Fuck no.
Oh.
I'm not on the front lines now.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing. I don't do it now. But you know, like I talk, like I'm very vocal about how I feel about
I
things.
would probably
but
try and get into
It's
radio.
more what?
I'll probably try and get into like propaganda radio. Not propaganda, but against the propaganda radio.
Yeah.
I think I would try and be a hidden voice behind the masses and constructing some sort of movement with my words and rallying people. The revolution will not be
So
televised.
you'd be a
Like,
leader?
I don't know if I'll be a leader.
Okay, so Fab's getting hit. So okay,
I'm definitely
next
gonna
one.
get killed. I'm definitely getting killed. Definitely getting killed for something stupid too. Something on my part. Like
It won't have anything to do with anything.
It won't have
anything to do with
I promise
anything.
you, it'll just be me.
well, you were in the club and you stepped on somebody's shoe.
Probably,
Yeah.
It'll probably be something that stupid, bro.
joke.
I don't see myself getting killed for anything revolutionary. I will be doing something revolutionary and then getting murdered for something completely separate. Because I just don't
That's
stick to
funny.
the script.
I'm real clear that I'd be in the movement. As an artist, but I'd be in the movement.
How strong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, my aunt was a Panther. Like, I'm very, very clear that I would meaningfully participate. Yeah. Black arts movement definitely is a major inspiration to me. But also people think about like leaders or who's on the front lines, but there are a lot of people behind the scenes who are organizing as well.
Exactly.
And there are so many different roles. I think we end up focusing on like, all right, we're focusing on the person who's in the front. We're not focusing on the people who are like supporting and building infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and even so, it's like it's sort of like the unsung heroes. It's like even if you're not specifically participating in the movement, if you're, if at any given time, if you're doing well for yourself, you're building a network, you're raising kids, you're doing your thing. Like just that alone, helps the cause. Like just having a frame, just having a solid core of functional, intelligent people who are doing things is like one of those sort of unsung hero things. Like we don't necessarily talk about them, or they won't be in the history books. But though I think that's like the backbone of any movement, like just normal people doing the best that they can.
Yeah, and their value system.
Yeah.
One of my mentors, he was talking about how he wanted to make a change in general, and he looked at all the people who were like activists and all that shit, and they all got killed. But none of the educators got killed. All the educators made it, like they lived the longest. So he was like, yo, I'm going to go in education because they live long enough to like push through.
Other countries with dictatorships.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Where they straight murk all the educators.
This dude went straight to the Soviet Union. He's like, yo, let's go to 1939 Germany.
I saw this play recently. Is it Cambodian rock
Hamilton.
band? Is
Hamilton.
that the what's that island
Maldives.
that had like a crazy massacre of their own people, like a few.
There's a lot of places like
Yeah,
that.
it's
It wasn't
mad
an island, but Cambodia's.
Are you talking about Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge?
Yeah, so
No,
Cambodia
Khmer.
rock band
Yeah.
is this
Khmer Rouge.
it's this play that they have right now at Signature Theater, and they kind of speak about that. Like, I've kind of heard things here and there, but I didn't realize like how crazy these.
I'm talking like Pol Pot and like
Yeah,
that stuff.
but the one thing
Pol
they did
what?
mention is that they just murked all
So,
the educators. And
my
shit
friend
like that.
survived
Damn.
the genocide.
That shit in the Dominican Republic
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Do that shit in a lot of places. Wait, your friend survived the
just killed the teachers 'cause they don't want
she
nobody-
survived the genocide in Cambodia with the Khmer Rouge. Her name is Pautoy. I helped publish her first book of poetry.
How'd she get
and I
away?
went- she was maybe like 3 or 4. They walked like the equivalent distance of like Boston to Philly. They walked to Thailand. That's how they got out. Like her father was a doctor. Like they were killing doctors, they were killing educators, they were killing martial artists. Like anyone who was like basically middle class, intellectual class. Because the idea was to return Cambodia to an agrarian society. So they killed all the professionals.
Yeah.
They killed anyone who spoke out, and they escaped. And they escaped through the killing fields. Like, she still has dreams of severed bodies and limbs and heads, and because she saw all that shit.
Isn't one of the people still live here, or did they die recently? There's some major person that was really head up. He was actually the focus of or one of the main characters in the play. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah.
Luke
But-
Kang.
What?
So, like,
But
yeah.
they're still survivors.
That's crazy.
But then when they got to Thailand, they got sold into slavery in an internment camp. Then they ended up in a similar situation in the Philippines, and they got brought out by this missionary society to New Hampshire, and then settled outside of Massachusetts in Lowell, which has the largest.
Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah, it has the largest Cambodian community on the East Coast. The largest community is in California, between LA and the Bay Area, and like she's a part of like doing activist work within those communities. She's
giving back immediately.
Yeah,
Shout
and
out
she's
to
been
her.
writing and she's doing her thing. I learned so much from like working on that project with her. She also was talking about what is it like to be a dark-skinned Asian woman growing up in the U.S. Like, you look at her features, you're able to see like the broad nose, large lips, brown skin, and like skin bleaching within those communities. A lot of the same shit that we end up talking about in terms of internalized depression, like she grew up with in her family. So you end up finding like a lot of commonality with Black and brown people, which is kind of uncommon amongst the Asian community. Like the ways in which, like, okay, if Chinese is the phenotype that everyone wants to be, then, and if you're absolutely not that, then what is it like when your family or society tells you need to look more like this other thing that you're not, that you need to speak a certain way, that your hair needs to be straightened and pressed bone straight. Like, same shit. Like, my mom cried when she read the book because my mom was like, this reminds me of my own childhood. Yeah, shout outs to Paul. Like that's my sis, that's people's. But like, yo, it's those types of genocides are real wild to hear about, and also to hear about how much the United States and Western governments like had a hand
Yeah.
in many of these. Like when you're talking about before, like with DR, like the United States had a major investment in Trujillo's regime.
Same thing with Cuba.
Yeah, like with Batista, like you look at all these different investments.
Cuba, Panama.
Yeah, Grenada, like in terms of Lumumba getting killed in the Congo, like there's so much in terms of like the CIA, what they had to do with and what they were willing to do to be able to like create economic stability for the United States at the cost of liberty and freedom and self-determination of other people around the world. And we wonder why we have who we have in office. Like it's the same shit. And it's not just here. There's a global rise of fascism happening right now. You look at all these dictators around the world and they're trying to secure themselves a spot. Like I was having a conversation with my barber. Who is to say that if the popular election happens, that he's going to leave? He's putting people into the middle. Like people keep resigning and he's replacing them with people loyal to him. Mm-hmm. He'll be like, what? I mean, he's friends with dictators. He wants to be one. Who says he's going to leave? So then it ends up happening. It's like, all right, then if we end up with that here, then what are we prepared to do? What are we prepared to do about it? How do we teach that? Do we expect the system of democracy to work here? Because clearly at this point, after this impeachment, what's working?
Right.
What's working here? What's working in the UK? What's working in Brazil? You know, you got the Amazon on fire, you got the Congo on fire, you got Australia on fire, and nobody's doing shit. And these little kids who are in first grade now and in kindergarten now, in 10, 20 years, and be looking at us like, what did y'all do? Mm-hmm. Y'all knew this was going on.
Why didn't you change it?
Y'all just sit and watch Fallon and Griselda, but you ain't say nothing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, nah, we were watching cats on YouTube, like running away with Trent.
Recently, Jeff Bezos, I guess, he pledged $10.5 billion to like work towards climate change. But I only bring that up with the idea of like I feel I don't like that the idea that like billionaires kind of want to I guess portray themselves as like superheroes, like saviors. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
kind
Batman?
of. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
They're trying to be
ironic
Batman.
because you have a company like Amazon who probably could contribute immensely to climate change. The amount of
Yep. Trucks.
Trucks, planes.
Yep.
Planes, warehouses, like it's just very, very interesting. And I mean, what's 10 billion? What's $10 billion in Amazon stock? Like, what is that really? Not much.
I don't know how much are they worth now.
Dude.
I know. So probably the vast majority of his net worth is in Amazon stock. So who knows how much cash he probably has? It's probably nothing compared to his net worth.
Yeah.
But his net worth is probably like something insane. It's like
Half
100
an
billion,
hour, 'cause
something like
he
that.
split from his wife.
Doesn't matter.
Still a lot.
Like it's still.
So I think she got like 40-something billion worth of Amazon stock, and
but-
that's.
But Amazon's biggest contracts still come from like Amazon Web Services. Like that's
Yeah.
where all the money is
Yeah,
from.
man, that's where
Like AWS, yo,
Yeah.
they own the motherfucking internet. You go to a website right now, punch in something, you'll see like it'll load AWS at the bottom. I'm like, yo, Amazon at this point, everything is sitting on an Amazon server. Government fucking websites. The CIA is on Amazon.
like
servers.
by a lot, not by like a little bit. Like
Yeah,
they
by a
own that
lot.
market share significantly.
And
like
they
in the
have
way
for
Google
years.
owns search, like they
Yeah.
essentially own fucking hosting.
Like I think Netflix is on Amazon servers. Like everything is on Amazon servers. Like they're competitors. So based on that, like, okay, sure. Yeah, it's why you can go on Amazon and buy anything cheaper than anything anywhere else. Like Amazon.com loses money
Yeah.
and will continue to lose money. It's not a profitable enterprise. It doesn't have to be.
One of the things that I learned that they do with like say companies that are that really were initially kind of like mom and pop shops, so like
Yeah.
middle people, right? So
Yeah.
they kind of go out to wherever their sources are,
Harry
and they
Perry.
get
Yeah.
whatever things they're gonna sell, and then they sell it at a markup. So they were doing the same exact thing with Amazon, but Amazon having so much data about them, where they're getting all their stuff from, what they would do is cut them out.
Yep.
Cut the middleman out, meaning cut them out, and then they would go straight to the source,
To the
make
distributor.
contracts with them, brand it as Amazon, and sell
Yeah.
it cheaper. So it worked out for us, really, for the consumer, but it
it's
would
killing-
fucking
it's
screw the
killing
fuck
Perry
up
Perry.
out of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all other companies, or out
That's
of like
crazy.
smaller shops like that were really just
Yeah.
middle people's.
And like Amazon killed brick and mortar bookstores. You know, it's really ironic that like Borders ended up closing up. These Borders is one of the major bookstores. Borders and Barnes and Nobles destroyed mom and pop bookstores for like about 20 years.
Yeah.
Like black owned bookstores, brown owned bookstores, just independent bookstores across the country died because of those two companies. And then Borders got ate up by Amazon. Like they closed. Barnes and Nobles, they're trying to sell Nooks. Like you go and you used to see like mad books, and they're trying to.
Nooks now.
That's what they're trying to sell. Because that's what they're making more of their money on than actual book sales. Because Amazon
It's killing them.
has been killing them for years. But Amazon has moved so far beyond books at this point that like that doesn't even really matter. But Amazon is opening up bookstores.
Yeah.
It's like you just killed
Brick and
bookstores.
mortar.
So now you're putting up a brick and mortar bookstore to replace what you destroyed. Like it's
Yeah.
fucking wild.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
But I mean,
You got
I
these
think
mics on
it's
Amazon.
just
What?
it's
You got
just
these
for
mics on
it's just
Amazon.
for presence.
Yeah, you did.
It's just for having presence. You know,
Yeah.
it's just Amazon's everything's the everything company.
Back from the mic dysfunction.
Hey.
Yeah.
Martin Janelle. Or if they were a gang.
They are
dancing on the train station.
They are gay.
What is that? Dancing at the train station?
Now they're out of our way.
We finally did it.
You see the cops doing it. Showtime, folks. It's showtime, folks.
NYPD
It's
sponsor.
showtime. Doing the hat tricks with the fucking.
Yo.
Yeah.
Not raising any money for no basketball team. No
Raising money for the uniforms.
uniforms at NYPD.
Please Benevolent Association.
That's crazy.
Yo.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
It's a repeat itself.
Oh, that shit went off?
Oh, it stopped recording. How long ago did it stop?
I just noticed in the corner of my eye.
I don't know.
It must have stopped just now because it was
Yeah, it
running,
was
and then I
recent.
looked, and it just stopped.
Mercury in retrograde.
Hey,
Well, it literally stopped right now because my thing is at 51:44. That stopped at 51:12.
Did yours stop too?
No.
That
actually
That show. No, I thought it did. I was like,
that was very well done.
ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
Why did it stop? Oh shit.
Oh, probably because you don't plug the mic. That's why it stopped.
Edwin.
Is yours? Everybody right there? It's
Yeah. This,
You got a pop up.
it's probably new device or something.
Yo. Y'all look cool as shit. So this is what it's like for me to be on here when I'm not smacked. No,
We could change that.
I was so smacked the last time I came through.
You don't want to take a break and then get back to it?
Yeah.
Break first?
I mean, why not just over there?
Pro say you want to take a break? I just block
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
alright.
Yeah, like use the bathroom, grab a beer.
Talk real shit, eat some bacon bites. I got it. It stopped again?
No,
No, I'm just waiting for the blue thing to pass.
What blue thing?
Why?
I
What are you
don't
talking
know.
about?
Easily entertained.
You really
Take
are.
it off.
Yeah.
Martin Janelli. What?
We get disconnected. Forget it.
Wearing
Yo.
spaghetti. Straps all day.
Is this your new
I'm freestyling.
Okay.
You don't like my freestyle?
Nah, because you
Top of
always
the
use
head.
mom's spaghetti, bro. You just
Yeah.
gotta-
Yeah.
That's always at the top of
I'm
your
trying
head,
to sound
isn't
like
it? No, you don't sound anywhere.
I sound just like the dude with the beard, with the red beard.
No, you don't.
The fat white dude.
Action Bronson.
Action Bronson.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Why do you always
Mark
make pretend like
Spaghetti.
you don't know his name?
Yeah.
He's always
I
like,
forget
you know,
his name.
Oh, that guy. Yo.
I be forgetting his
Yeah,
name.
yo, I be
be
forgetting-
his
alright.
name, bro. I forget that,
Yeah.
and I forget the other platform we're on. One Space?
On MySpace?
Nah, it's Twitcher and something else.
You mean Stitcher?
Stitcher and something else.
Twitcher?
What's the other one? Twitcher. We have
Lime
Twitcher. We have
Fury.
Spotify. We have SoundCloud, and we have
MySpace.
no. It's one something.
It
Fuck
is
it.
MySpace.
We don't even know what platforms we're on. Good
One
job,
Tune?
guys. Is one
Seriously?
tune?
No, it's TuneIn.
You don't even
It's
know,
TuneIn,
man.
it's
Look at this
TuneIn.
motherfucker.
TuneIn
Like
is
it's
That's
one
what I'm
tune.
saying. Action Bronson, TuneIn is just names I can't remember.
TuneIn's a great platform.
No, I'm saying we're on it, but I can't remember the name.
Do you use it?
Yeah, for our podcast. We're on 6
That's
platforms.
not what I asked him.
Yeah.
5? I don't use
He
it.
said, do you use
Oh, me
it?
personally, no.
Yeah.
We're on five platforms now.
Congratulations.
We're doing it. We're making it big.
You know what'll be better? If
6
you know the name.
platforms.
Yeah, if you know the names of all of them.
YouTube,
Ooh.
Twitcher, OneDrive.
Twitch. What the fuck?
OneDrive?
OneDrive. MySpace,
Yo, this job is rotting your brain.
It is,
and
bro.
Skonex.
I'm losing memory.
Go next.
I'm usually really good at remembering things, bro.
Like you're
Maybe
working
I
memory
haven't.
for things that are not frameworks.
It's bad, man.
What'd you do last weekend?
Last weekend? Come on, bro.
What did you do last
I don't
weekend?
know. I
Why
don't know
not?
what
You're not doing anything on the weekends now?
Who is it? Is that what I did last weekend? It was something capital related? I don't know what I did last weekend, bro.
I know that's because you don't remember.
What did y'all do last weekend? We haven't done a what did you do last weekend segment in a long
What did I
time.
do last weekend?
What did y'all do last weekend?
I just
Because we used to record on
I just
Saturdays and
trained.
drop
That's pretty
Sundays.
much it.
Yeah.
So we used to ask like, what did you do last weekend?
Yeah.
In the very beginning, but we stopped doing that and we stopped doing what's been bothering us.
Oh, I did something on
Because we're living good, right? Nothing bothers us anymore. Right?
Nothing worth talking about.
See?
plenty of things.
Talk
bother
that
me.
shit. Talk
Oh
that.
yeah, I went to a 5-year-old's birthday party,
Lit.
in Washington Heights
Alcohol.
How do you
Lit.
know this 5-year-old?
because she's one of the children of the many children of our nation. Like she's our nation being like my spouse and I. Like we had to have a whole bunch of people that we rock out with that are artists, and she's the daughter of one of the choreographers that my wife had been working with for like 10, 15 years.
Did you play Baby Shark?
No. I chilled in the kitchen with the adults.
You
and
ain't play
talked mad
Baby
shit.
Shark. You gotta play
No,
Baby I would have been with
absolutely.
the 5-year-olds. You
No,
know,
they weren't playing Baby Shark.
I'm
Like,
there
yo,
for the
they,
5-year-olds.
they
Weirdo.
had they had a whole dance party.
They play Griselda.
They did.
Ah.
They did. Bar for bar. Definitely. All I mean it was rocking Griselda, you know what I mean? So she was just right there talking about shooting people.
And cocaine. Well,
Nah,
cocaine.
it was a unicorn birthday party. She had a great time. After that birthday party, we went to facilitate our first organizational culture meeting for Purpose Productions. So it's my wife's company. It's
Okay.
our company. So I'm one of the 4. I'm in leadership there. So I went and facilitated. We have like 5 new hires, so we had to like get them kind of up to speed on how we do business. That was at Brooklyn Public Library, and then we went to a show in the Bronx. Last Saturday was
Wow.
heavy pack. Last Sunday I didn't do shit. I watched television.
Talk about your
I don't
company
know
some
what
more.
the fuck I did. On Saturday.
So Purpose Productions is an organization that is dedicated to what's called the mothering of purposeful work, which basically is a fancy way of saying we help people do cool shit, very often the things they find hard to do for themselves. So everything from social media marketing to strategic planning, or what we call visioning partnerships. We've done it for 651 Arts, for High Arts, Raw Goddess and Move the Crowd Inc., Kumbe Center for African Diasporic Dance. Like we have a long list of like organizations here in Brooklyn and elsewhere that we've done work around. Built websites, put up ads on bus shelters, like whatever, brochures, watch kids, done production management. Nia's down at a conference with one of our sojourners, which is what we call clients, because we take the journey with them.
That's fine.
At Dunham.
That's fine.
It's also why you'll notice that like
advice was trash. You're right.
at
Sojourners is fine.
at Ember, like at work, like I'm real clear. Like I don't ever say client. Like I don't ever say branding. There's just certain terms I don't use. I don't say intersectionality because they're using it wrong.
Damn.
It's not. It's like I'll say at the intersection of. I'll say intersectional, but I'm also really clear on what vocabulary I use based on the value system. Because we don't just have a company for the sake of having a company. This company is fully aligned to our life value system and practice. And for all the people who are coming in, like you want to talk about what alignment really looks like, we have a 3-day interview. Actually, it's a 1-day interview, group interview process. And then after that, it's 2 days of like acculturation and training immediately after being hired. We do this every Martin Luther King weekend is when our hiring takes place. We have quarterly organizational development sessions, and then we have an annual retreat. We really talk about like how we're living and embodying the values while we're doing the work. We talk about all the practical things of like, this is how you get better at doing shit in MailChimp or running a crowdfunder. Things about like financial management, administrative management. Like we'll go into all of those things, but we also talk about like, well, how do you deal with stress? Like what does your self-care practice look like? How do these things all like, how are they intertwined with the work? We don't even have to talk about how they're intertwined. We all know they're intertwined. So we actually share these skills with each other. I picked up new ones there. Like it's a really beautiful place to work. And
What are your any tips for like managing like, stress and stuff like that?
stressing you out, bro?
I would say actually
Right now you are.
one of the most important things is people call it a mindfulness practice, but like it's a spiritual practice too, and being able to do that in movement. So I'd say like having a movement practice as well as a meditation practice. It's extremely helpful. My movement practice involves hitting things, brings me a lot of joy. Things that bring you joy are important, but like things that are going to take care of like not just your physical wellness, but your mental and your spiritual wellness as well, particularly if they can happen at the same time.
Yeah.
For some people that's yoga, for some people that's dance, for some people it's martial arts, but something that allows you to fully feel like yourself. If you have artistic practice, do that. But whatever it is, find a way to center joy every day, no matter how shitty the day is. And like that's a part of yourself, of time that you have for yourself, that you don't let anyone infringe on. And you have to build it as a routine of your day, even if it's only 5 minutes that you give yourself. And you do it proactively. You do it before the stress hits. Like we're talking about meditation and deep breathing. You can do that to like de-escalate a crisis. You should be doing that shit all the time before a crisis even happens. Like you wake up in the morning, you have like 5-10 minutes, you listen to your favorite song, you listen to Griselda, you listen to Pop Smoke, you listen to fucking Sade. It doesn't matter who you listen to. Listen to whatever is going to give you that energy, that vibe that makes you fully human, fully alive, to be able to take care of yourself. So that's way like when you get stressed out at work or from life or some family shit hits, that you already have a strong base and foundation that you can come back to. And it's like, okay, I'm not just doing the thing that I do when I get stressed out. I'm doing the thing that makes me feel whole every day. And I'm just going to do that a little bit differently with a different intention to kind of like take care of myself in this moment. The other thing is you've got to know your boundaries. Like for me, at the job, like really transparently, the job where we work, I let the partnership know in January, like, hey, I'm dealing with these grief issues. Like it's around the time of my grandfather's death anniversary. These are the ways in which I need support, like communicate. I have not been going to meetings. Like I'm not a person who skips meetings in professional development. I've been skipping them because they were triggering for me. And I could actually not stay and pay attention. If people are going to call on me and ask me questions, I'm end up with an anxiety attack. Or I'm going to be out of pocket and I'm going to be a dickhead, which was actually really likely. So let me just make sure I'm not there to put myself in that space because I know how I'm going to respond. It's not anybody else's fault. It's just how I'm feeling. So if I know that I'm going to be I'm going to be toxic to other people because of where I'm at, I take myself out the situation.
Separate yourself from it altogether.
Like I step out.
I feel the same way.
It's like there are rooms where I'm like, okay, I could be here and just not say anything. That's actually even worse. Because if I end up saying something, I'm going to be real snippy, kind of rude. Like, I don't need to do that. And people don't necessarily need to see that part of me. So, like, you draw that boundary. Like, I try not to bring work home with me. Try when I go home to be able to give, like, time to my partner. I know that also, like, okay, let me decompress on my own for 2 hours so I'm not parking, like, my shit with the person I want to spend time with. So I don't spend time decompressing verbally to them about how bad my day was. Like, let me handle my shit for my 2 hours. Whatever it is I need to do. If it's playing video games, write a poem, talk to a friend on the phone. So our time is our time.
Right.
You know, it's like the same thing when you have friends. You don't necessarily have to park like all your baggage with them either. Like you want to be able to actually really chill and kick it. If y'all need to talk about shit, you can, but it shouldn't be like every single conversation is utilizing your friend for free therapy because,
yeah,
you know, you can get a therapist for that.
Hey boy, my bad. Hey boy, what are some ways you decompress aside from beating people up? That Ellsworth lot.
I don't beat anyone up.
Count my money.
I count my money.
Count my hundreds.
I make lists.
Go to the strip club. That's decompression.
Comb my hair.
That is actual decompression. Yo, that's the name of your new poem, Decompression.
Of your pockets.
Stories from the strip club.
Yo, I could really write a poem about that.
That'd be dope. I want credit though. I want the credits. Nah.
You'll be in the poem. 'Cause
advice.
In the poem, you took me to the strip club. Yep.
Hey, nah. Usually what I do, I mean, I just relax. Honestly, I'll read, I'll sleep, I'll stretch, I'll just, listen to music. It's a variety of things that I do. I generally tend to get overwhelmed when I fall off task, right?
Yeah.
So when life throws things at me, I'm usually pretty good at dealing with it. But usually when I get stressed is like when I have certain things that I need to do consistently and I don't do it and I fall short. So a lot of it is just putting systems in place to make sure that I stay on track, right? So I realize, like, even just like a simple example, right? Like I have a lot of people tell me that, they want to save money, but they don't, right? And the fact that they don't save money, they get stressed out, right? I was like, okay, just remove yourself out of the equation. Just put a system in place where a certain amount of your paycheck goes here, and goes there, and a stressor in your life just disappears. I'm sort of the same way. Actually, that's something that I actually did like when I first got out of college, right? But just realizing that I'm not Superman, that I'm human, and even if I recognize that I need to do certain things, I won't necessarily do them on my own. So I have to put systems in place to make sure that they happen.
Ed, boy,
So-
you're my Superman.
I know. But yeah, it's just usually just a matter of keeping up with my hobbies, like this, the show that we do, martial arts, and just chilling. I'm usually pretty centered. I don't usually get stressed out too often, so it's just a matter of just keeping things going, and not getting stuck.
DK, how about you? You got a regimen for? Is it substance? Mine's is substance abuse.
No,
That's
I mean,
how I.
That's not
That's
stress
how I mellow
management.
out.
I smoke. I like going out to eat though, like specifically at a restaurant and like sitting down.
Me too. I'm
Like
fat.
something nice. That's definitely a nice way of de-stressing. Sometimes just playing video games. Sometimes it's literally just as easy as just like simple as like just taking a shower. Usually it's like just trying to
Facts.
forget about it for
Yeah.
like a little bit.
Throw-
But
throw it up your
if
shoulders.
it's something a little bit more like a lot more like I just keep thinking about it, I'll try to like just try to focus, I guess, on something good that's happening. Like if something's bad's happening and it's just like fuck, even whether it's within within your hands or not, it's just like sometimes it's hard to like not think to think about that or not think about that. So I try to think about maybe something that's going better in my life and like, oh, this shouldn't go too good, but you know what?
I'm doing this.
I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Just trying to look at the other end. Eating and smoking clearly.
Yo, cooking is another good one too.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah,
one thing.
yeah.
Like when I get to the end of the
Eating and
day,
smoking is
I'll
fun.
just start like prepping food and stuff like that. It's very cleaning sometimes. Very
Yo,
like I put the
cleaning is so
music on,
therapeutic.
and then I'll put some Mark Anthony, and then I'll just start cleaning and shit like
Yeah.
that.
That's my
And that's
cleaning
very
music
like
too.
yeah.
play the
Right,
same
right, Carlos.
Viva mi vida.
What about you?
Alcohol?
Drinks,
He
drugs,
says-
nigga.
I drink.
Alcohol.
I do coke.
I pop mollies.
Nah.
Take a Xanny.
De-stressor. So unlike Edwin, I'm on the lenient side of things, so I don't really have a this is gonna bother me kind of button. Like this just bothering me a lot, blah blah blah. Unless I speak about it a lot, that's when I feel like it's
Get the
bothering
fuck
me.
out of here, bro.
You disagree?
You're not chill. You're not like. Out of all three of us,
You think
Edwin's the
Edwin's
most
the
like.
chill one
Edwin is the most that's just like.
Yeah, probably.
over me?
Yeah.
I don't be
Hell yeah,
bugging.
bro.
You be bugging.
Hell
I be
yeah.
bugging.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was me chilling.
Edwin has the I'm the youngest kid. Nah, I'm fucking with you.
By a
No,
month.
what does that even mean?
Nah,
No,
nah,
where you
it's
going?
just
No.
when you're the youngest and
Um,
life is, woo. Nah, I'm fucking
Yeah.
with you.
I think
No, I'm not.
I know.
as far as like de-stressor, this podcast was one. Video games is another one I'm winning. I went home yesterday. No, not I went home. I fucked shit up on Smash.
What
And I felt really good.
like when you're trying to de-stress and you play Smash and you lose a lot, does that
Yeah, I be
like,
stressed more,
does-
bro.
okay, that- yo,
It be-
no,
it be
that be
internet.
happening to
It's
me
the
sometimes
internet.
when I start
It's not
playing,
me, it's the internet.
and then I'm just like,
It's
games
not
are
me.
not fast enough for me.
Yeah.
You gotta play.
This
a
is
game.
controller. This controller. Fuck this controller.
That's why I play Assassin's Creed.
That you can just win at.
Just kill.
That's interesting. It's like in general when it comes to video games, just anything. I don't get upset if I feel the person was better than me, right? Because like if they're just better than me that game,
Same.
there's nothing I could have done.
if the
it's
connection
like
is fucking up?
Not even not
They're only
even
better
the
than me because
connection.
of that.
Bro,
Not even
the connection be fucking up,
Because
bro.
connection is like out of my control. But if it's like I fucked up, like if I like kill myself or do something stupid, then I'm like, oh, what the fuck, bro.
But I
But
should
if someone
tell them,
beats
I'm
me
like,
fair and
bro.
square, it's just like, oh, okay, I lost. Like nothing you can do about that. But if you like kill yourself or you kill yourself twice, it's like, damn, bro.
Yeah, I
like,
think I
what the
feel
fuck?
yeah. So I would say video games is one of my de-stressors. I don't drink when I'm stressed, which is weird.
That's smart.
I don't drink when I'm stressed at all. When I'm sad or when I'm like not feeling it, I don't want to touch alcohol at all because it's like, what am I doing it for? The podcast is definitely another one because it's like not an escape, but it's like a little hub where I could just talk about what's going on and shit like that, and like chill with guests. And I would probably be it. As far as like de-stressing. Sleep I don't count as a de-stressor because sleep is something you need.
Yeah.
You know?
I like chilling with my cousins, man. That's some
I like
of the
eating.
time that it's just like
Like eating
very,
a lot.
very like feels like a very relaxing time, just chilling with like old relatives and shit like that.
Yeah, that's real.
Even different than the vibe I get, you know, when I chill with. Even like clearly over the last few years, like I see Ya more than I see anybody else in my family. So clearly Ya my family, but it's still a different type of like
Vibe.
feeling, vibe
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah,
chilling
yeah.
with my cousins. A different type of relax.
No, I agree. Chilling with my
Yeah.
family is mad fun. It's fun as fuck.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, those are my de-stressors. Play video games all break.
That's awesome.
All break.
Yeah, no, I did the deep cleaning of my apartment for most of the break.
I clean my room. Did some laundry.
Scrub the walls.
Your walls are dirty?
Dog, it's an annual clean. Like everyone's walls get dusty.
What color are your walls?
White.
Oh
Oh.
man.
Don't put no blue jeans
And,
on.
and, now they're clear. They're see-through. You clean them so well.
Clean
like-
that shit super clean. That's how you unplugged it the first time. I feel like we had this problem before. This isn't deja
We
vu?
just gotta position it a better way next time. We give that one the short one.
What did
The
you
short
guys
straight.
do last weekend?
I don't remember.
I just
I think we
handled
I saw
errands
Sonic.
and trained, and that was it.
You saw Sonic?
Yeah.
Is it as good as people saying
It is as good as people
Really?
say it is.
Really?
Yeah, Sonic is
Shit
good,
looked
bro.
like it was trash.
Sonic is good.
I think everybody expected it to be trash.
Jim Carrey,
Dr. Robotnik?
He
Jim
killed it.
Carrey, bro, he doesn't miss.
Interesting. He was a great Riddler.
Like he was just.
He doesn't miss, bro.
If his part is written well, he's always going to kill it. But like the Riddler, if they just give him a shitty part, like
He still did that well.
there's nothing you could do.
He still did it well. That was
There's
also
nothing-
20,
there's
30
nothing-
years ago.
It was a terrible movie.
It's like he
That was
did
terrible.
he
They had
did his
nipples
best with a
on their
shitty
suits.
script. Like he did his best with whatever shit that they gave him. He was just like, all right, fuck it, I just gotta run with it.
Nah, he Jim Carrey doesn't miss, bro. He did Sonic well.
That's great. I did
I'm
not
not gonna
expect
pay to
that.
see it.
I expected
You're
it
not
to be
gonna
a
pay?
flop.
No.
It was good.
So better than Pokemon?
He said, Link.
yeah.
That
Link
honestly,
Internet.
He get you detective shit?
I
Or the one where
expected
Ash
it-
dies? Because nothing tops the one where Ash dies.
No, bro, that doesn't compete.
Don't bring
No,
that up.
the Detective Pikachu, I thought it was gonna be like that, just because it's like
Yo, it was,
similar,
that was actually a good
similar
movie.
vibe.
Ryan
like,
Reynolds.
I didn't see the movie either, but I heard it
Spammerous.
was bad.
I heard it was a good movie.
Yeah, it was good.
Nah, Sonic was good.
Yeah, that's a very bootleggable movie.
I can't wait to find
Yeah.
it online.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm also picky about my bootlegs. I'm gonna wait for it to come my digital release. I want my HD.
It'll be on Netflix.
I want my HD
Well,
bootleg.
I don't want a moving camera.
Well, I don't know. It was a joke. but
Cam
think
quality
about,
is
like,
terrible.
Maybe it's just
That's
Marvel
true.
movies.
It might go
that
straight
do
to
that.
HBO.
You think so? Who
Yeah.
produced it?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just thinking because like
if
Marvel
Disney,
movies,
I'm
right?
seeing
They
it.
tend
I'm
to go to
seeing
Netflix
Cinemax.
a lot
No,
quicker
they're
than
not
before.
gonna-
I think it
Netflix
might
anymore.
have. I think it might have been
Oh, yeah, well,
Paramount
that's
or
'cause they-
something. I
Disney
don't know.
Plus.
Disney Plus is fucking the game up, bro.
I do not.
They got
I'm
reality
never gonna pay
TV.
for it.
They
Never
got.
gonna pay
Yeah.
for
You're
it.
not getting Disney Plus?
Fuck no.
I have
'Cause-
it, but I haven't logged into it. My brother has it, so
I will
That's what's
find
lagging.
a way to get it for free. That's what I'm not paying for it. It's not happening.
yeah, I don't. I have no intention of paying
Disney Plus is hitting.
for it.
Oh,
I'm trying to
no.
cut back
Cool.
on some.
Oh,
some
cool.
of the
Then give me a
ports.
login.
JBY. See it now. Disney Plus is hitting. Disney Plus is hitting. Disney Plus is hitting,
I'm
bro.
not paying for that shit.
I use it for my kids, for my students.
That's great. I'll let one of my students log in with theirs and I'd use it.
Let's save.
But yeah,
I don't
save it on
see-
your fucking.
Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to enter. Whoops.
Save forever.
They be
Yes.
trying to watch Netflix in class anyway. Like, yo, it's middle school. They wilding out.
Sure.
That's crazy.
That's crazy as fuck.
Like, yo, stop playing Call of Duty. It's class.
I told my kindergarten to get off the phone over there.
Like, who are they talking to?
Yo, bro,
Like,
she's on
what?
the phone.
Yeah.
Kindergarten. 5 years old.
Now,
on the
see,
phone.
what I can't stand is when the parents FaceTime the kids while they know they're in school. Like,
They don't respect the teacher.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
in,
They don't
in the
respect the
middle
teacher,
of my
bro.
class, I'm like, yo, does it? Your mom knows you're in class, right?
They don't
Yeah.
respect the teacher, bro. Education different.
I
That's,
know, and
that's
like,
a whole nother
if I'm
episode.
like, I'm
We should be allowed
confiscating
to
a child.
That's a
hit the
whole
kids,
nother
bro. We should
episode.
be allowed to hit the kids, bro. They'll respect us.
So we should be allowed to with the kids. We got a rare candy.
You gotta go
them.
to Catholic school.
You got
for
a
that.
single rare candy them, bro.
So then, I think I mentioned this a few times, maybe not to you. I used to teach at a school that it was just a bunch of like foreigners, like literally just a few days, like coming from their country, and like they would find out later on that a teacher couldn't hit their student. They couldn't hit them. They literally would
Glitching.
come, like, Mister, you can't hit me. I was like, I want to, but I can't.
They
And
start
then that's when they would
glitching.
start acting fresh and shit.
They'd be like,
but you know, like little kid shit, not like Bernie shit. You know, just like little poopy, you know, stupid shit. Little
Bernie
kid
shit, like Edwin.
oh, so
Back
they were
in the
like,
days.
how old were they?
No, they're high school, but like they're still like they became Americanized, but they're not like bad American kids.
But
Like,
they found
I
out
think
you
bad
couldn't
American
hit 'em.
kids are mad fucking fresh, son. But you know they're foreigners. Yeah, the parents still beat the shit out of them, so they're nicer.
Bad American kids. Their parents beat the shit out of them too. It just doesn't matter in class.
American kids, bro. I'd be a little bit more worried about American kids than foreign kids. Or maybe
It's
I
just
just got
different
lucky.
culture.
That's
Maybe
another
I just
topic.
got lucky.
That's another topic I want to hit on.
Yeah.
How the growing or raising of a child is different based on culture of like ethnicity.
Ethnicity, but also like right now it's just different in the 21st century because of these fucking phones
The cameras.
and YouTube.
And the
You gonna
internet.
beat me, mom? But you gonna mom? You gonna hit me?
Yeah.
There's this comedian that was just like,
I'm
talking
live.
about things they have in
It's
common
live
with
right
other
now.
cultures. And then when they got to the Latino cultures and the Asian cultures, it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna like us because we beat our kids and shit like that. And it's just like, yo, we know what it takes to make good people. It's just like, oh man, they do real good in school.
When you
They're
beat
really,
'em?
really polite.
Be your kid's first bully, and they'll never have to deal with bullies again.
There's so much trauma.
Damn.
Nah, yo, I used to get hit, and
Damn.
I don't like that shit. So
I hated getting
that
hit.
shit.
But also like
It made no sense. So, yo, I felt like mad times I get hit. Like there was sometimes I earned that shit. Fine, but there was like majority of the time I'm like, bro, yeah, I OD for no reason. Like,
but also
2
like,
plus 2 equals 5 does not warrant a slap over the head, dad.
but also just beating children.
Don't hit me.
Alright,
Don't
so
touch
what
me,
I'm
father.
saying-
without the fucking psychology to go with it. It's like, okay, I got beat. I'm still gonna do the same things. Like some people just get taught how to take a good beating.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And
You just
like,
kinda straight
like there were
through it.
times I wish that my father hit me. He's 6'4" and 250, and there were times where I was like, yo, I would the hit would have been better.
He would have took your head off.
So all I would tell you is there was a day that I went. No, when I was in middle school, and when I was in middle school, I walked outside. I don't know what I said to him the day before. I set him off. He's a Capricorn, so he's like low key. Actually, he's high key petty. He cut all the hedges in the backyard, all of them. Like he cut a tree in half and left me to rake everything up. I would have taken. The beating would have been better.
Yeah, because it's quick.
Yeah, I was out there for 6 hours, and when I was done.
He's like, yeah, no better.
When I was
First of all,
done,
his dad cut
I was
a
like,
tree
all right, I'm gonna go play
with his
basketball. He's
bare
like,
hands.
did you rake all the pine needles?
That's crazy.
My friends didn't see me the entire weekend.
Capital
That's
punishment.
crazy.
I would hate shit like that.
Like,
but
that's the shit that would
Punched
happen to
the
me
tree
like
in
once or
half.
two. Yeah.
He was so upset he punched a tree in half. Clean that shit up.
Yep. And he worked on IT, so he would take apart my computer.
damn.
I knew how to put it back together. Like, I just came home and all the cables
It's
were out.
tedious. So tedious.
My pops used to send us to like specific Spanish restaurants to get specific things. He would send me and my brother to 2 different places. They would have the same things, but we had to go to this place to get this.
It tastes
to
different.
this place to get that.
It tastes different.
I used to be so pissed, bro, because it was
I
like,
get it.
mind you, we weren't doing shit, but it was the fact that we could have ordered. And the elevator by itself, because it's 3 elevators, 32 stories,
Shit.
it would be like literally you're tacking on an hour to your trip just because you gotta wait for the elevator. So it's gonna be waiting for the elevator anywhere from 30 to like 45 minutes and shit like that. Used to fucking hate that shit, son. Hate that shit. And it was funny because it used to happen to me and my brother, but we only a year apart. So when I went back home and I'm here talking to my father, my brother, my youngest brother, he's 4.5 years younger than me, and my mom, I found out that my father does that shit to everybody. He would send them on fetch quests
Oh,
too.
just to do the shit.
Everybody on a fetch quest, son, and I'm just like
Why?
laughing.
Nah,
bro.
He wanted time in the house by
He's
himself.
the side quest in your
Yeah,
story.
he's literally
He's
like
a side quest.
you need to get this and this and that. It's just
That's-
like
I think that's like the joy of every parent's life.
Not Elwin.
Is
Elwin
just
was chilling.
having their kids.
Elwin never got beat.
Like, just
Only
go
when
get
I was
random
like
shit.
real young a couple of times. I avoided doing stuff in front of my parents.
And then,
Same.
and then you learned MMA. they never
No.
beat you again.
like, so they wanted you.
they never beat him again.
Yeah, he picked it
My
up
mom
sixth
beat me
grade, that
once.
makes sense.
Meanwhile,
once.
you got beat all the time, didn't you?
Oh, D. I got beat every Wednesday.
When the greats come in Wednesdays, it's
Nah.
like that.
I gotta beat every Wednesday.
Just because.
You know what time it is.
Just gotta beat every Wednesday.
Oh man, that's a lot of trauma, bro. All jokes aside.
Nah, I'm fine.
You need a hug?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Wow.
I'm good, guys.
Yeah, okay.
It's a very forced smile.
Fucking quest.
Wipes
No,
Denzel tear.
no, I'm good.
Well, that's the base, folks. We got some.
There's a trauma to unpack.
We're gonna get.
On the next episode, beatings.
Oh,
Oh man.
But like parent teacher conference, bro, I would see some of my kids get mad fucking nervous. And it's, I mean, I would laugh because I knew exactly what it was, bro. Your parents are gonna come in, and if your parents are like my parents,
Hands and feet. Ha 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 ha.
chancleta.
chacletazo. You get grounded for weeks. The time you do would always get more and more the older you got.
Y'all
They never thought, let me
ever,
give them different punishments. It was just like,
y'all ever did the full sentencing of the punishment?
yeah. tons
Oh,
of
you did the
time.
full.
Huh, my parents
Yeah.
are petty, bro.
I would
Same.
kind of weasel my way out,
Never.
like because of good behavior, like close to like
Never,
They didn't
bro.
give a
They-
fuck about
Never.
good behavior. Good
close
behavior
to
is
like
what you're
6 out of
supposed to
7
do.
days.
Only
Yeah,
there
that's
was
the
only
default.
one of us that used to get out.
The
Wasn't
youngest.
me. Yeah, the youngest. The babies.
You got out all the time, didn't you?
No, I got beat every Wednesday. I just
No, that's him getting out.
the beating.
Yeah.
No.
There was no
Punishment didn't really harm me because I didn't care.
That
But I wonder,
doesn't
like-
surprise me.
Yeah.
What would you do with a kid that doesn't give a fuck? Like, how do you, because when you get to a certain age, it's just like,
You sell him.
you sell them out.
Wow.
Moses, you gotta throw him in the river.
You trade. You
Find your way.
You go to your local
gotta-
GameStop and trade them in for store credit.
You gotta roof him. Throw him on the roof.
Credit towards the new PS5.
You just,
Nah, a kid that don't give a fuck. As an educator, I would just make the community shun them.
That's horrible, bro.
Yo, what if they stood
That's-
up? Yo, what if,
and they
what
gotta
if you
work
have
their
a
way back
kid
into
and the
restorative
kid
justice.
is in high school?
They gotta work their way
and
back into
they're not
community.
like 6'5" and shit like that, and they just start getting fresh.
you talked like you actually talked. I've dealt with this. You talked to them like you have to have a real real human ass conversation.
Yeah.
Like I talked to them
Man to
like
man
they,
type
it
shit.
doesn't matter how like I talk to them like they're adults. I did it with a 4th grader. I've done it with a 3rd grader. I've done it with a 6th grader. I was like, yo, you talk.
Yeah.
Like yo, so what's actually really bothering you? Like what's the actual real issue? And we talk. Works out or it doesn't. But you can't make somebody
Do anything.
do
Yeah.
what they need to do for themselves that's
choice.
healthy. Like
So you beat him.
yeah, or that's an approach. That doesn't also always work. It's like, okay, I get beat every Wednesday. What you gonna do? Can't hurt
I
me
feel
more
like
than my
beatings.
dad.
I feel like beatings are almost more for the parent than the kid. It's like a way for them to get their
Frustration.
no, it
frustration
hurts
out.
them
Does
more
it get
than
their
it
frustration
hurts.
out?
Oh no, it doesn't
You.
hurt them. It does not hurt them.
Then why did they say that?
It's how to get their frustration out.
Because they're full of shit. That's why.
Like I love you. It hurts me to harm you. No.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Capital punishment.
That shit is funny.
Getting beat.
In retrospect, now it is. So
Yeah.
you
I
can't get
don't-
beat now
I don't
Because
think
everyone
you
laughs
should.
about it. Sort of.
because it's so fucking silly.
Sort of.
Sort
Because
of.
when I would have that talk with my parents, they're
'Cause
like,
we'd be
nah,
sad in the
but
other
it
way.
wasn't as bad. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
Nah,
that
don't
shit was
hit me.
bad.
No, when they
Yeah,
get
don't
real
touch me.
old though, like my grandparents were like, yeah, what I did to your mother was probably child abuse. I'd probably go to jail now, but you know, it was the 50s.
That shit ain't even funny.
The thing is, it was even like,
Right, you turned out okay.
That's what they say. Like,
Yeah.
you turned out alright, so
No, you beat me.
Or we like get thanks was like, oh, sorry that I abused you all those years. Really? That's what we doing?
I didn't even have the conversation with my dad about the Wednesdays. I would never.
Because he'll beat you again.
He's like, we could bring it back
Yeah.
every Wednesday. Like, I got a friend who do MMA, Dad. Don't touch me.
I'm not. I don't know who this friend is.
What's MMA?
Hector then.
Yeah, get Hector on.
Wait, you're part of the Mobile Marketing Association of America?
Yes, exactly.
This is the base.
This is the
The
base.
base.
Y'all are some creeps.
Nah, that's
Oh
not-
man, like all 5 of our listeners are gonna be creeped out.
Nah, we average 10, bro.
No, we don't because you're not actually counting them across different platforms.
Oh, we got more than 10.
My man, we have like that much times every platform we're on.
Wow, Edwin.
Can you name them again?
Ah, the platforms?
That's the whole thing. It's just like literally
Twitter.
every
PlayStation.
different platform we're on, we get the same number of users
HBO.
across every
HBO.
And then recently, because of the Facebook thing you did, we've got a significant amount of like, or at least like engagement with that thing.
Dick, and you told me not to do it. That's the base.
I didn't tell you not to do it.
You said don't do things that you don't agree with. That's the base.
Let Pro finish out. The Pro.
Are you in? Oh, you want to have our?
Yeah, let
Oh,
the guys do it.
hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yo, it's the bass.
What was that? I
don't know, I'm just being silly.
Why'd you put your sexy voice on?
Because it's my radio voice. You ain't know? I'm light skinned. It's how you do it.
Holla.
Why did you
Yeah.
on the radio?
Holla.
Listen, you just breathe in the microphone. You can't say shit to me.
It's the quiet storm here with Brother Pro.
Turn the lights low.
Light some candles.
Levon's
PK.
gonna spark some food.
LOSO __G.
Pro Jones 22.
I already did.
You said that one?
Yes.
I didn't even hear that shit.
I didn't hear you say that one, bro.
Cause you don't keep listening.
Yeah. He definitely heard it.
I didn't hear